really can spare 2 hours on a Wednesday afternoon, once a month?
You didn't ask whether or not I can chair the committee. You asked if I want to chair the committee.
Please, Connor, I'm desperate.
How many people have you already asked?
Everyone?
You asked every single full-time instructor in our department?
Yes.
Even Ted?
God, no. Ted can barely update his Google Calendar. I'm not asking him to chair a committee.
Well, I don't think that's fair. I mean, I think Ted is a perfectly acceptable candidate.
You really want the guy who can't figure out how to forward an email in charge of selecting the next textbook?
Do I get release time?
No.
Do I get a stipend?
No. They won't even approve my budget request for Post-it notes.
Look, I promised myself I wouldn't do this. Liz, I swore I wouldn't take on too much this semester.
We all make that promise.
Well, for once, I'd like to keep it.
Can you at least tell me you'll think about it?
Fine, but please just don't go getting your hopes up.
I haven't had hope since we updated the syllabus to include a policy on personal hygiene.
Excuse me, I have a meeting with Dr. Abrams.
Of course, come in. Please have a seat.
I'm sorry. I thought this was a private meeting.
It is. I understand you have some concerns about your final grade in Professor McGarry's class.
Yes, that's correct.
And are you prepared to discuss those concerns?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Then let's get ready to rumble! In this corner, we have Connor McGarry, a tenured professor with over 10 years of instructional experience.
Oh, I gotta record this. Oh.
And his opponent, Penelope Graham, a first-year student with a cumulative GPA of 3.5. Fighters ready?
You took 10 points off my first assignment because I submitted it late.
Look, the assignment was due by 11:59.
I submitted it by 12:05.
Which is after the assigned deadline.
But 10 points? It took my essay grade down to a C.
Would you have preferred an F?
I would have preferred that my grade reflect the work I put into the assignment and not the 6 minutes it took the browser to load.
Look, the syllabus clearly states that I do not accept late assignments without documentation. However, I made an exception so you could still have a chance at passing the class. I didn't have to accept the assignment at all.
For Professor McGarry.
On the next essay, you took off 5 points for one missing comma.
Look, if I remember correctly, there were also quite a few sentences with inconsistent pronouns.
But the rubric said I could still earn full credit with few, if any, errors in grammar or mechanics. So what's your definition of a few?
It's more than one? I mean, look, consistent errors like commas and pronouns.
I'm sorry, but that seems a bit subjective. You should be more specific about the exact expectations, especially when it impacts a student's grade.
One for Penelope.
And I felt like your email response time could have been faster.
Look, I respond to all emails within 24 business hours.
Well, I emailed you on a Friday and you didn't answer me until Monday.
Do I need to define business hours too?
But most of us don't do homework until the weekend, and that's when we have questions.
Well, don't start an assignment 2 days before it's due.
Come on, that's not realistic. We have jobs and other classes. The weekend is all we've got.
Trust me, I understand. Look, I teach between 6 and 8 classes a semester. That's almost 200 students at one time. That's 200 students who have access to me for 40 plus hours a week. Look, I answer emails from 6 in the morning until 10 at night. I get the weekends. We need help, but the weekends are just when I need a break.
Another point for Professor McGarry. That's 2-1.
So is that why it took you almost a month to grade our first assignment?
I had 75 students submitting at the exact same time.
But your syllabus, you know, the one that so clearly states that assignments will be graded within 2 weeks of their submission.
Look, I mean, that is my intention.
Like it's my intention to submit my essay at 11:59 p.m.
Look, I get what you're saying, I really do. But it takes me hours to grade essays. I don't just rush through it so I can slap on a score and spend the rest of my night watching home makeover shows. I genuinely want you to get the most out of my comments, and that takes time.
Well, what good are your comments if it takes us 3 weeks to see them? I was already done with my next essay by then. If the point of feedback is to help us improve, then we need time to make improvements. My grade might have been higher if I had gotten your feedback sooner.
That's another point for Penelope. We are now tied 2-2. The next point wins.
I hate to bring this up, even though I know I'm not the only one who thinks so, but sometimes it felt like you gave other students special treatment.
Whoa now, let's keep this a clean fight.
I know for a fact that the student next to me got to see lecture notes before class.
That's it, old fighters, back to your corners.
Oh my God.
Look, you don't need to worry about what other students get to see, okay?
See, I told you, how is that fair?
And you don't need to worry about what's fair either, okay?
Of course I do. That's why I'm here, to prove that my grade wasn't a fair reflection of my abilities as a writer.
It was a B. You got a B. There is nothing, nothing wrong with a B.
I'm not a B student. My whole life, I've been told I'm good at this. My English teachers have written nothing but glowing comments on every paper. This is the first time I've earned anything below an A in English, and I'm sorry. I don't think that's my fault.
No. You better find it. You better find it.
You know what? Maybe you're right. Maybe this isn't a reflection of your writing skills. Your English teachers weren't wrong. God, you are such a strong writer. Such a clear voice. And how you've developed well-organized thoughts targeted at a consistent audience. It's just, maybe what this grade is actually a reflection of is, well, of you.
Oh.
We have a winner.
Seriously? But what about the grammar points and the feedback that took forever?
I'm sure Professor McGarry will take all of that under advisement for the future.
And the lecture notes, I saw them. She sat right next to me.
I have every confidence that Professor McGarry provides an equitable learning environment for his students.
You haven't heard the last from her.
She'll cool off. They always do.
I'm so sorry. Listen, it really was an anomaly. Like the whole grading thing, it's just, I accidentally scheduled 3 due dates at the same time. Like, I even brought my laptop to my sister's wedding so I could grade papers in between the Cotton Eye Joe and the Cupid Shuffle.
Oh my God.
I once graded papers at a funeral. People thought I was grieving my great uncle, but I was really mourning the death of proper capitalization.
And you understand the whole lecture notes thing, right?
I appreciate you maintaining that student's privacy by not using the words disability or accommodation.
How many more of these do you have today?
Just 2. I've got Ted coming in later. Apparently, he refuses to acknowledge the singular version of they.
Okay, that seems like a legitimate concern.
Then another who claims her instructor was pressing a political agenda by only using blue markers.
That sounds less legitimate. I'll just look. I guess I'll see you at that session on campus safety next week. And oh, you can put my name down for the committee, but that's just until Deb gets back.
Thank you, Connor. I really appreciate this, and I swear you'll have help. I'll make sure you've got everything you need.
I have every confidence you will.